Universal Great Britain. I know I'm a little tardy to the party on this one, but I was a little preoccupied. I had to learn this material in my vibrations class, and anything with a non-homogeneous solution is difficult to learn, I'll tell you that. But here we are, Universal Great Britain. We've known about this project for the better part of 2 years, and now we actually have something. Hallelujah! We now know what this park will sorta look like in the future. Because like all concept arts, this is pretty vague. Universal, right now, it's clear that they don't want to give out a lot of details, which is understandable. The park isn't going to be opening for the better part of 6 years. Oh man. Yep, the park will not open until 2031. Excuse me for 1 second. Well, despite the fact that I'll be in my late 20s by the time this park opens, I'll still be excited to go. I can't wait for the day I can pass through the gates. But if I had to be honest, if I had to give my knee-jerk reaction about how I truly feel about this park, I have to say I'm a little disappointed with Universal Great Britain. And that's because of one simple aspect about this park. The park, it's a little small. I'm sorry, it does. The park looks kinda tiny. I'm aware that it's a little unfair to say this. How can I judge the entire park based on one concept art? Of course, everything we see here is not going to be the final product. There's probably gonna be a few tweaks here and there, maybe a ride added, maybe one taken out. But for the most part, this is what Universal Great Britain is going to look like. And there's not a whole lot to it. When you compare Universal Great Britain to a different Universal project, like Epic Universe, you can tell that they're not exactly equivalent in size. Epic Universe, they have 5 full-fledged lands, while Universal Great Britain, they really only have 3-ish, with a bunch of mini lands in between. The park just seems like it's missing something, that one land that can make the entire park whole. Again, this is just my knee-jerk reaction. In the coming years, my opinion will definitely change, especially when we see the entire park getting built. It will for sure help me appreciate the scope of Great Britain. But as of now, just looking at the concept art, I feel like there's not enough. Despite this, I think what we're actually getting for Universal Great Britain looks pretty remarkable. There are some attractions here that leave me in general awe, and others that leave me a little confused. To show you what I'm talking about, let's take a walk around Universal Great Britain. Starting here, with the roller coaster that everyone has had their eyes on. This weird blue double spike Intamin roller coaster. And yes, this is a double spike coaster. Not a lot of people caught on to that. And apparently, this ride is going to be themed to Back to the Future. Why? Why, Universal? Why are you building Back to the Future all the way in England? I want Back to the Future. I have been begging for this. Remember my Sci-Fi Land video? I want to see a Back to the Future roller coaster in Orlando. Universal, you're just taunting me at this point, making me furious. Come on, I want this ride! Ooh, I'm sorry you had to see that. I got a little worked up there. So, supposedly, this is going to be a Back to the Future roller coaster. How do we know that? We don't. The only clue that we have is that this ride is blue, and that tells us it's Back to the Future. Yeah. Really, what else is gonna go here? The blue track, the shuttle-like system, the fact that it looks like Mr. Freeze on steroids? There's not a lot of guessing we can do. But you know what? If it looks like Mr. Freeze, acts like Mr. Freeze, I would not be opposed to a Mr. Freeze-style ride here. I will accept anything to get Schwarzenegger back in the Universal parks.
What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age!
Honestly, I wouldn't want this style of coaster to be themed to Back to the Future. My take would be to theme this ride to Lord of the Rings, because you can make the shuttle Spike appear to look like Brad Dourif. Have a little all-seeing eye luring over the park? That would probably be the best skin for this coaster, especially if you're incorporating a dark ride section before the actual bulk of the coaster. But I guess Back to the Future would work too. With the shuttle aspect, you can go forwards and backwards, as in going forwards in time and going back in time.
Please clap.
As we travel around the park, we can see the biggest land that's going to Universal Great Britain, that being Jurassic Park. Ooh, I mean Jurassic World. Yeah, I'm sorry, Jurassic Park is not coming to Universal Great Britain. It is going to be completely the Jurassic World IP. Apologies, everyone. The park is closed and the world is open. Oh god, I hate saying that. The first ride we can see in the Jurassic World land is... Oh, you gotta be kidding me. The Doctor Doom Freefall Towers? Oh, I mean, yay, the Doctor Doom Freefall Towers. The ride I've seen get a 20-minute wait at one point, because the ride is just so fun and popular, too. Ugh. Right next to the mile drop towers, we can see that yes, indeed, they are building Jurassic World the ride, and I am 100% on board with this decision. The Jurassic World ride in Beijing already looks like an A+ attraction, so I'm all for it. But right next to this dark ride, we can see that there's gonna be another major roller coaster in this park, and it's also gonna be themed to Jurassic World. Yes, this ride is going to be Jurassic World. It is not going to be Wicked. Why is this rumor still going around? Let me just be transparent here. Wicked is not confirmed for this park. They are not going to theme a roller coaster to Wicked. Why would they? Just because the ride is green and the witch from the movie is green? You know, there's a word to describe this correlation. That's racist! This ride is obviously going to be Jurassic World because it doesn't really split off from the Jurassic World section. There's no clear deviation in the areas, so this all appears to be just one massive Jurassic World section. But now moving on past Jurassic, we can see that over here we have a... Oh, no. It can't be. I've dreaded this. Please, no, not the Minions! Oh yay, looks like a Minions Despicable Me land. Woohoo! There's probably going to be a Minion Mayhem here. Ooh, a family coaster. That actually could be quite fun. But, Minions, why? Well, that pretty much brings us full circle around the park. I'm aware that I kind of skipped over all the mini-lands that are within Universal Great Britain. For one, it is confirmed that they are building a Paddington land, which is most likely slated for this location over here, right next to the Back to the Future roller coaster. This should be a fun little kid zone. Other than Paddington, we're getting lands such as... Lord of the Rings? Yes, really, according to a BBC interview, Lord of the Rings is somewhat confirmed for Great Britain, which I find a little strange because where is Lord of the Rings? Nothing in this concept art screams Lord of the Rings. I suppose it's in this little area back here. That's the only location I think it could be. And if it is, I'm gonna be disappointed because it's nothing. It's tiny. All I can see in this concept art is a plaza and a show building. And again, I can't even tell if this is Lord of the Rings. It could easily be a Shrek land. Universal, you're not giving us a lot to go off of here. Please update this concept art in a few years because right now, this quote-unquote Lord of the Rings land is not making me too optimistic. Other IPs that we know is going to Great Britain is 007. Yes, James Bond is sorta confirmed. From what I can tell, James Bond, it's not going to be a ride, but rather a show. The only issue is we don't know where this show is going to be located in the park. Some have speculated that it's going to be the stadium towards the back of the park. I don't think that's the case. This appears like it's going to be the Waterworld show over at Universal Hollywood, which I would prefer. Waterworld is incredible. There's no beating Waterworld. I see the James Bond show being located towards the front of the park, somewhere near the midway entrance before you split off around the lagoon, with an exterior in the same 1960s Hollywood style like the Jason Bourne show. I imagine that the show itself, it's not going to be too different from Bourne. I mean, they're basically the same thing. One's the original, one's the knockoff, so a James Bond show shouldn't deviate too much. However, I would much rather see an Austin Powers show over a James Bond one. Because screw Jason Bourne and James Bond, I would take Mike Myers any day.
You can't resist us, Mr. Powers. You can't resist us, Mr. Powers.
Au contraire, baby. I think you can't resist me.
You're the one who makes me come unknown.
Universal Great Britain is a park that I am looking forward to. It's just slightly unfortunate that this park is going to be nowhere near the same league as Epic Universe. Great Britain is just noticeably smaller, and on some level I can understand why. Universal, they're building an entire new park in a market they have never tested before. They've never built a park in Europe. This is going to be their first. So it's best for them to start small. Build a new property to try and test the waters, see if the public will respond to it, and if it does well, they'll expand the park, maybe build another park, and then eventually this will be a full-on European destination where you can spend multiple days at. And hopefully that is going to be the case. I was skeptical when Universal said they were building a park in England over some other European country, primarily because, no offense, England is very rainy and dreary. Who would want to build a theme park somewhere where it rains constantly? But then again, Universal's biggest property is in Orlando, so what the hell do I know? But if not that, I'm very curious about the seasonality about this park, because the UK compared to Orlando, it gets pretty cold in the winter. So is Universal Great Britain going to be a seasonal park? Are they going to try to keep it open all year round and shut down some of the rides during the winter? Probably. We'll just have to wait and see. Hopefully this park will be a success. And it seems like the locals of Bedford, they really want this park to be built, which is a good sign, because if we compare this park to a certain Disney park, Euro Disney, that park was a complete failure when it first opened, largely in part to the local population. The people of France, they did not want Euro Disney to be built. Thankfully, it seems like Universal Great Britain is a different story. I have not heard any bad PR towards this park. So hopefully, in give or take 6 years, this park will debut, and soon they will expand. They will open more lands, more rides, and then, and only then, will this park be on the same caliber as Epic Universe or Islands of Adventure. However, this all depends on the park's immediate and long-term success.